So then self is means like then fixation to ourself, others, object. So then emotion, other or arising. So that's the reason this whatever this form we cannot stop, thoughts we cannot stop. So the what you can do, no fixation to thoughts and emotions, forms, whatever arise, let arise, no fixation to. It needs not be said that grasping at the negative side, like the three poisons, is problematic as this is clear. See, the self-grasping, emotion, they are negative. That is very clear. We don't have to grasping to that, no fixation to that. So fixation, grasping also have a positive, negative. You heat it to that, that's also fixation. You attach to that, that's also fixation. So negative emotion arise, you heat it to that, so that's also become wrong. And you already fixating that, fixation. Uh, But even grasping at the positive side, such as grasping to view, meditation, and conduct, because in impediment to liberation. So this is not talking about the first level, first beginners, of course, you grasping to your view is okay. You grasping to your conduct is okay. Means like I like my view, my meditation. I like, my religion. I like something, positive things. That's okay. But then when you are high level or into the meditation state, non-conceptual that time, so that's also become epidemic to meditation. It means like obstacle too. So you cannot have a positive and a negative both. And we have to release the both like negativity. Of course, like it's negative, it's no one. Positive also you cannot attach to positive too. So like when you meditate and rest in mind, so then you think, oh, this is my view. I really like this. And in the meditation, you have that thought because it's epidemic obstacle thoughts too. So you have to release that too. Otherwise, you stuck with that. Yeah. So we have examples like you have a rope, so like just ordinary rope, or you have like chain is like golden chain. Try to you is the same thing. Means like something special chain, like ropes tied to you, or just regular ordinary rope tied to you. Both is tied to you, right? Do you understand what I mean? Okay, not difference. The main point, positive thoughts, negative thoughts, both are we have to let it go. Cannot be attached to positive thoughts, cannot be heated to negative thoughts. Mm. So then in the epidemic to liberation. Therefore, no matter what arises, do not grasp into anything. So this is the spring path. If your mind is not attached to anything, you are into the natural state. So that is the spring path, means that is take you to Buddhahood. So that meditation is the same as like you fly the jet, and non-stop, taken to the Buddhahood. Uh, so this is spring path. This is how to do it. So how to do it, how to practice this. Know your nose, Example, like you have a jet, then how to you fly that, how to get destination. So you have the jet airplane for you. If you don't fly, you don't know how to fly. That's the problem, right? So main point is like you recognize you are Buddha. You know how to you recognize your nature is Buddha, and you know your own nature. And then what we have to do, we have to practice. We have to fly, and we have to practice. So practice also like you have to use correctly. Otherwise, jet can be accident, pollution, explosion, right? Die. So like that kind of danger too. Relying on this method is beneficial. in displaying confusion. So if you follow this method, you get, of course, a beneficial, you get benefit, and displaying the confusion, you all the negative confusion, positive confusion all go away. Whenever your mind wanders off in distraction, so your mind gets distraction when you meditate, such as when desire arises, pacify this distraction and quickly bring your mind back. So right now I'm sharing this section is not just talking about like daily life something, you are when you're in the meditation. So what do you have to do in the meditation? We have usually talk about the post meditation meditation. Post meditation means uh, we like finish the meditation and then you go into eating and go to restaurant and doing other things. It's called post meditation. Meditation means you are into the meditation and your mind is into meditation state. So when your mind is into the meditation state, then so the these thoughts, emotion, whatever arise, you cannot stop. And no rejecting, let arise, but don't follow, no fixation to, no grasping to that. We have to liberate that. And at the same time here, and such as when desire arises, so we have to pacify this distraction and quickly bring back your mind, quickly your mind bring back, pacifying, and all these thoughts go away and bring back your mind, go into the again back to your nature. Whenever you notice mind to be unhappy, seeing the quality of samadhi cultivate happiness. Then when you are in the meditation, sometimes like you can be the like sad you're feeling, unhappy, see? Mind to be unhappy. So that means like sometimes like your meditation go really into right direction, hit to the your self-grasping, then that's the reason you losing the self. Self is destroying. That's why you get unhappy. And also some people didn't have enough accumulation merit. So that people get more unhappy feeling. Uh, so we have to follow this practice like uh, called the method and wisdom go together. Method we have to cultivate, like love and compassion, and then also create some accumulation merit. So yesterday I shared we talked about the 7 branches: prostration, offering, confession, rejoicing, beseeching. So we have that kind of practicing often, and purify our body, speech, mind, negative karma. And then that person when get into this level is less obstacle. So otherwise, like who get in this level meditate, they get unhappy feeling, and then they don't want to meditate again. So that is a big obstacle. So why they get the unhappy feeling? Because we're removing the really negative heat there, and you're losing your selfish. So that's the reason it's like you get unhappy. That time, then what you have to do, meditators, seeing the quality of samadhi, cultivate happiness. So you have to think about cultivate again, not resting again. Cultivate, oh, this meditation only can take me to liberation. So this meditation is can only destroy like my self-grasping. So you have to think about self-grasping. If you control us, we are endless suffering in samsara, and if we get rid of the self-grasping, is we are liberating. So you have to cultivate, enlightening qualities, some of the benefits. So you think that they become your mind want to push again. So you don't just uh, let this unhappy feeling overrun to you, and you have to go through that difficulty. Otherwise, you cannot get destination. So if you're going to on the path somewhere, you get heat, you get cold, right? Whatever comes, you have to put effort and go. You say, oh, I don't want to go there. Like they're going on something I don't like. you stop there. You can't get there where you want to go. So that's the reason we have to cultivate this samadhi benefit. And then also cultivate happiness too. Happiness means this happiness thing about when you meditate, then you become nice, relaxed, joy, peace, bliss. So that kind of, you cultivate all this meditation is really bring the permanent happiness, permanent joy. So you cultivate that, then you get more effort to do again. I'm not going to stop there. When you start to get sleepy and you notice the mind to be getting sluggish and unclear, so you get that, your minds become unclear, sluggish, and sleepy. That's also actually due to emotions, ignorance. You purify your ignorance, so you get this kind of feeling, and you get this kind of situation to go through, because you are in the better with better, like armies fighting, right? That kind of space, you fighting with your emotions. So you have to must be winner, no emotion run for you. Your wisdom have to run to the overrun to the emotion. So in the better place, it's not easy, right? It's hard, difficult, but so if you want to winner, you need a sharp mind, clear, and effort. Whatever difficulty, you not let, you don't try to lose. You whatever difficulty, you try to winner. So that kind of you have to put effort to do. You have to run over this your or ignorance. Otherwise, this ignorance is run over you. Then you will stuck still samsara again. You cannot go to Buddhahood enlightenment. Uh, so that's the reason sleepy, you notice mind to be is getting sluggish and unclear. Focus your intention on happy, positive object as described above and pacify the lethargy of mind, focusing extremely intensely on the meditation. So what do you have to do? Then you have to practice yidam deity. That means, so focus positive object means visualize Buddha. And then, we have a Buddha Shakyamuni prayer, so every day we chanting. That kind of practice, you chant prayers, focus with a positive object. Then your this fogginess, sadness, unhappy feeling, lethargy, they all go away. So that time, the main point is we have to use practice yidam deity. Practice yidam deity helps like remove this obstacle. And that time you don't have to try to put again, like even your lethargy, meditate is like nothing going to get benefit. You have to change your practice, like put focus with the practice yidam deity. And then have to go back to again. So go back to this, the main point is this one, other is like you helping. If you better in the fighting with your enemies, you need a knife, you need the like arrow, and you need a different kind of weapons. So you have to know what I need. So that's kind of exactly same thing here. And so this kind of situation comes, you have to change something and then go back to again exactly what you're doing, not just let go away. Practice, you have to maintaining, focusing, but use other method to overrun the emotion. Uh, so then, see, focusing extremely intensely on the meditation, go back to meditate. If you are resting mind, even and you push too hard or put into too much effort, that also will become a cause of mental distraction. Of course, like first you're going to have to effort and push to meditate. So when you are in the meditation, you cannot push. So like, we're going to get a class here. If you don't push, you cannot get here. You start with something, pleasure or something. Maybe you wanted to be in the swimming pool, or you wanted to see the view, or you want to eat or drink or want to talk something, always going on something. You don't get time to practice. So that time you have to push effort. You get in here, right? When you're in here, so still you need to push, no need to push it. You need to relax to stay. So like that, before meditation, you have to effort to put, but when you are in the meditation, you cannot put effort. So need to relax. Otherwise, you get a cause of a mental distraction. If you are sinking into lethargy and you do not push or apply effort, that will become a cause of sinking even deeper into lethargy. And you will not have any vipassana. Your mind will become as if blind. See, if you meditate, then some people, like, do to this because like the habitual, like obstacle run over you. So when you meditate, easily get falling asleep. Very hard. Many people has that difficult and problems. You can do this worldly activities. You never get asleep. You never get tired. So when you're ready to read the Dharma book and meditate, you easily fall asleep. Listening teaching, fall asleep. Meditate, fall asleep. Practicing, go to fall asleep. And finish that, your minds become clear up. So then do all these worldly things, talk and doing something. 24 hours, your mind is active. Yeah. So into the Dharma, easily go to fall asleep. So that's the reason you have to put effort. Like if you get fast sleep, you have to put effort means like state, body like tight up like this. Effort, then look far away. No close eye. Otherwise you get more the lethargy again. If you apply effort, if your mind is resting, even they do not apply effort. Okay, see, this if you get lethargy, sleepy, and then if you falling into that, you don't have a vipassana, means you don't have wisdom. That time no wisdom. The mind is so dim and weak, so the sleepy lethargy is very strong. Then whatever says you cannot hear, and in the meditation, actually you are just stuck there, but you not really meditating anything. And so that kind of happening, your mind will become as blind. So then it's same as close eye blind. The mind is blind. Therefore, if your mind sink into lethargy, apply effort. If your mind is resting, even do not apply effort. So it's balance. You get balance. Don't put effort. Don't try to get too tight. Don't put effort. Don't see. It's other way. It's like be just balance. Meditating on vipassana, your wisdom will become a predominant, and your samadhi practice may suffer like a butter lump in the wind, falling free to destruction. So if when you meditate, it's vipassana. If you don't practice shamatha, then your mind is ready to get distracting. So same as the butter lump in the wind. So it's shaking, your mind is shaking. Then what you have to do at that time, switch your focus to shamatha practice. So have to go back to meditate shamatha, mind resting with the object, mind resting with the breath. Is you need to create your mind is like become stable. And then your mind is stable, then you can look into your mind and see your natural mind. If your mind is not stable, you cannot see, you cannot stay in the natural state mind. So that's the reason you have to go back to meditate shamatha if you have that problem. When your shamatha predominates, they meditate to cultivate wisdom. So that means like shamatha is very strong, means mind is like resting peacefully, but not really looking into your nature. So many people has that, the thing is I'm good doing good high meditation, but then really not seeing their own nature. But the main point, they're just resting mind is like object and the focus be somewhere resting, be the calm, peace, but no wisdom, not seeing the own nature. So then that kind of happening. So that's the reason you have to go back to meditate vipassana. So vipassana is not just like, same as like we focus with object. Focus object, your mind rests with object. Then your mind focus with the breathing. See, that is still not looking into your nature, right? Resting, you recognize that. Okay, so vipassana means no focusing any object. You really into your own mind nature. Then you're looking into your nature and you have the mindful awareness. The seeing your nature there is present. Present means no any thoughts. It's there, like with like clearly there, present. You recognize that. Same time, that is like I told you, like empty because it's no exist anything. So then that is like clear means aware to everything. Not like clear like bright light or something. Clear means like no, like it's blind. Blind is like you cannot see like that. Mind also not blind. Mind also like you seeing clear be there. So that's empty. Empty is clarity, emptiness, inseparable. You are in that nature, but then you cannot really share that for others. Cannot describe that that feeling or that experience. You cannot share anything because beyond the words, it's like you cannot say like that's exist, no exist. You cannot say no exist. That is no exist. Then that is like it's kind of free from all the conceptual thought. It's very hard to get in that peaceful really into nature, but even you get hit there, it's easily can be lost. So that's why that is the subtle level, hard is very hard to recognize, very subtle, and need balance something. Cannot put too effort, cannot be loosed. Something you comes like balance and recognize that nature. So then you have to be in that nature, no using any kind of intellectual investigating. Yes, you have a question?
Yes. When we say that we should recognize nature or mind, we tend to try to figure out where to put our attention. So what do you recommend? Where is our attention the moment we try to recognize our mind?
Where is our intention?
Attention.
No any tension in there.
But it's just spatial state of attention.
If you have something tension means then that is a dualistic. Attention, yeah, also dualistic become conceptual thoughts. Attention maybe positive thoughts, but cannot have positive thoughts.
So because we are always with our attention somewhere, right?
Yeah, so that's have to in this state.
And then vipassana, we inquire.
Yes.
The roots of our mind, where the mind comes from. So we are putting our attention still somewhere. We're inquiring. We're looking for maybe the origin, where the mind comes from. So this state of attention stays like expanded, or how you recommend to manage that, because our attention is always present, right?
So the attention is exist or not?
Attention.
Yeah, attention is exist or not exist.
If exists or not?
Yeah.
Yes, it exists.
Where? Oh.
Now.
Yeah, attention is not exist. It's emptiness. That's why you can change attention, right? exists permanent. You cannot change attention. So that means no exist. Put it in the emptiness. So you cannot bring any positive thinking to true. We have to like subside positive, negative both in this meditation. Stay in the nature. Yeah. Okay. So we keep more discussion. Yeah, we keep more discussion. So first we go this one. Go through. And then meditating on vipassana verse, we are shamatha practice when your shamatha dominate. Okay. Wisdom, when you gain equal capacity at both. So shamatha vipassana, we have to gain equal both meditation. When you will abide without fabrication in the bliss of body and mind. See, if you have fabrication, means intention also fabrication too. So that's also have to let go. Without fabrication in the bliss of body and mind, then you really get bless your mind, bless your body. So when the meditators always fabrication means like you have intention. I wanted to get blessing. I want to get mind blessing, body blessing. If you have that kind of intentions, you never ever get blessing. That is become obstacle because you expectation. When we meditate, you cannot have expectation or have to let go. So see, positive, negative, both have to let go. So then, if you do not experience the bliss of a body and mind at that point, reflect that all world realms are illusory, like a dream, a mirage. And some meditators, they're attached to mind bliss, attached to body's bliss. Some didn't get that, then they're like feeling, not really happy. And they wanted to give up the meditation practice. So that's the reason, if you don't get this bliss, don't put to effort or expectation to try to get bliss. Then what you have to do, you have to change your intention again. At that point, reflect that all worldly realms are illusory. So then you have to think about all these samsaric beings are suffering, and these all sentient beings are illusory, like a same dream and a mirage. Then you also bless, also same is a dream, same is like illusory. Then you not attach to that. So you don't attach to that, then you can, get blessed, mind blessed and body is blessed. Otherwise, you have expectation, and then you don't get. Yeah. So because reasons you are attached to that, you don't not possible to receive. That is become obstacle for mind bliss. Think to yourself. All these sentient beings have not realized the profound truth, and so they remain totally afflicted by confusion in samsara. So now we have to cultivate love and compassion in the meditation, during meditation. So this practice, like you have to go to together. Together is method, wisdom have to go together. So only wisdom cannot purify karma. We have to apply the method. So that's why it's meditators using here is a method. Cultivating the love and the compassion. So how to cultivate love and the compassion? All these sentient beings have not realized the profound truth. So you meditate, you recognize you have this profound truth, the meditation, and so they don't recognize all these sentient beings. That's why these sentient beings are stuck in samsara. So they remain totally afflicted by confusion in samsara. So I will do whatever I can to ensure they realize the true nature of dharmata. So then I wanted to help them, apply bodhicitta. Wanted to help them realize this nature. So that means, you see, is wisdom go first, and then bring the love and the compassion, bodhicitta. So this section is like more higher level practitioner, means like meditators. First wisdom, and then result or is arise compassion to other beings. Because you meditate, you really understand the true nature, and then you arise compassion for others. That compassion is called unconditional compassion. It's not based on the attachment. So other, like usually we meditate love, compassion is also still based on the attachment. So this meditation is called pure meditation, pure compassion. It's unconditional compassion arise for other beings. Thinking in this way give rise to great compassion and bodhicitta. When we talk about emptiness in view with all perfect qualities, what do we mean? So when we meditate this, emptiness in view with all perfect quality. So this vipassana meditation with compassion. So what means with compassion is like, then we mean emptiness inseparable with generosity, ethical discipline, patience, diligence, and meditation. So emptiness with generosity, emptiness, patience, like all is like become practices take into the meditation. So whatever we do, use the applied wisdom. So the Shantideva's teaching, he already told the way of Bodhisattva. Other all chapter is cost, result is wisdom. So now we apply wisdom and use others together. So that means like main point is like many blind people, and only one person has eye. So then one person help the other blind eye take to the right path. So like that, wisdom apply with generosity. Generosity is taking into therefore it is wisdom generosity. It's hard to explain, but main point is when you do generosity, the generosity also free from three spheres. Free from three spheres means like no any expectation. So you have, long as you have realized emptiness, subject is emptiness, action is emptiness, object is emptiness. So that means like three of them is like realized emptiness, free from three spheres, called three spheres. Subject, object, action, three of them emptiness. Then you don't have any expectation. I did something. You didn't think about, oh, I did something good. You don't have that pride. And you giving things, the action, what you're doing, this object, action also emptiness. And who received that person also emptiness. Then you don't have any expectation. So use that apply for the meditation here. And so that's why, wisdom with generosity, wisdom with then others go together, ethical discipline. Whatever we're doing, good conduct, also emptiness. Emptiness is good conduct is emptiness. And patience also like that, diligence also like that, meditation. So we also mean emptiness inseparable with wisdom. In this way, the pro model wisdom or omniscience, the supreme emptiness imbued with all the qualities. So the highest level of wisdom imbue all these qualities, the six parameters in there. Generosity is there, generosity perfection, morality perfection, passion perfection, joyful effort perfection. So meditation perfection, wisdom perfection, all this perfection is imbued together, not separate. So that means actually you practice wisdom and same time cultivate, sometimes cultivate compassion, imbue all these qualities together. It's brought to full realization through the skillful means of generosity and so forth. Then bring all the qualities. Omniscient wisdom is a perfect through skillful means. It does not arise only from wisdom. So the Buddha's qualities not only come from wisdom. So the part of the Bodhisattva is therefore exerted to be imbued with both wisdom and skillful means. Buddha enlightening qualities come from the method and wisdom together. That's the reason all the Bodhisattvas on the path practicing method, generosity, participation, joyful effort, all these other parameter and wisdom together. So not falling to the one only. This is how the transcendent nirvana is attained. That is nirvana that does not get stuck in either extreme. So then who practices that way, the person is not stuck in the nirvana because they have compassion. The compassion benefit all other beings. And the bodhisattvas are not stuck in samsara, that has wisdom. So wisdom take into the nirvana and the compassion bring benefit for others. So that's bodhisattva who practice compassion and practice wisdom. They're not stuck either. See, samsaric beings are stuck in samsara because of no wisdom. And we call the ahas are stuck in nirvana. They don't benefit like same as Buddhas. So they're just stuck there because they don't have enough compassion to benefit others. They are free from suffering, but they stay there in the nirvana. They don't act to benefit same as Buddha. So Buddha has a wisdom, that's why free from samsara. Buddha has a compassion, that's why it's like benefit for other beings. By the power of wisdom, Bodhisattvas did not fall into samsara, and thereby power of skillful means they did not fall into absorption of nirvana. That is why when we are actually meditating in transcendental wisdom, so that is called transcendental wisdom, or rest in mind, even in meditative absorption. We are not engaged actively in skillful means practice such as generosity and so forth. However, this wisdom comes about because of relying upon skillful means in the beginning and at the conclusion. So then question is, like this is a resting mind meditation. How can you apply the compassion? So main point is like beginning, before meditation, you have to do the seven branch prayer and cultivate the love, compassion, bodhicitta, then go into the meditate. When we finish meditate, you can do dedication for other beings. What you did, practice, that dedication for other beings. That's all is a method. And then, of course, your mind is in the non-role, non-conceptual state. That is meditation, wisdom. See, that's why it's bring together. Otherwise, like you in the meditation, how can apply generosity, how can apply compassion for others? Not possible, right? But beginning and end. So the end of meditation, end means like middle of the meditation. Sometimes, like you see someone, and you see the other beings. Right away, you can like use the other beings object of compassion. You are in the meditation, you are non-conceptual, you are in the samadhi, you have peace, joy, and you realize your own nature. So you see other being, everyone has the same nature, but they don't see that, they don't recognize it. That's why they're suffering in samsara. So then you arise compassion to others. And then you have to go back into on the natural state again, meditate. So that's we have to apply, follow. Then you have both together, skillful and wisdom. So this comes together, then Buddha quality is arising. It's all condition comes, result no one can stop. So all conditions arising. However, this wisdom come about because of relying upon skillful means. In the beginning, at the conclusion, when we are resting our minds naturally in meditation, so when you meditate naturally and meditate, if we place our minds on a visualization of focal object of great compassion by directing our intention to sentient beings. So that's I told you, like you are in the meditation, then you see someone and your intention, pay attention to them and recognize they are suffering other beings. So you recognize, you realize your own nature, but other or suffering. The reason is they don't recognize the nature. That's what then apply the compassion. That itself is relying upon skillful means. That is why wisdom and skillful means are relied on simultaneously. So they go simultaneously, they go back and forth together practicing. In this way, after one has meditated for a long period of time on compassion and bodhicitta and become more adept in this gradually one's mind strength. So then compassion, wisdom is adopting our mind, become, mind strength will become wrapping. At the time, saying then wisdom, awareness free from conceptual limitations will be realized clearly. So then we clearly get realization. Such as Bodhisattva will become a true child of Buddha and will stand apart from all worldly beings. Bodhisattva abides in the realization of Dharmata, the absolute nature of reality. And in the recognition of Dharmata, the basic space of all phenomena, gradually, as the Bodhisattva ascends through the high premise and purify the mind, he or she eventually awakens to surpassable true and perfect enlightenment. So, main point this just the point is here. This is what I read. If you meditate that more often and often, then rapidly your mind is become wisdom and bodhicitta arise. So then, so you realize your really own nature. So nature is free from all conceptual thoughts. That time, then you are become true to bodhisattva. So true to bodhisattva means you realize your own nature. So that time is you are really different, like from the other worldly beings. So you are called special person, means like high realized beings, not Buddha, but Bodhisattva, absolute truth Bodhisattva. So you are become absolute truth Bodhisattva, then you maintain and practicing again. So your gradually your quality is arising, go up to like first Pimi Bodhisattva to second Pimi Bodhisattva, third, fourth, all the way go up to 10th level Bodhisattva. And then end of the 10th level Bodhisattva, you purify subtle level obscuration, emotions. Then we have become enlightened Buddha. So you can become Buddha. So that is follow the teaching. And today I share this Vipassana. Actually, this Vipassana is compounded together. We talk about Mahamudra, Vipassana, Dzogchen, meditation. They all actually essence is same together, compounded together. So Mahamudra, Dzogchen, like we talk about Mayaminka. So this theory essence is the same, but applied method is a little bit different. Each one has a different. So Mayaminka method is take longer time. Mayaminka method take longer time means like you have to go through all step by step. Step by step, it take longer, but it's more stable. It is more stable following. Directions are very stable and take really longer way, but result is nothing different Dzogchen and Mahamudra. Mahamudra Dzogchen used the special method, but that follow the, big door open and get same room. So like that, So the take short way, but result is the Miami kind of same. So I give you like example. If you're going to build this house, okay, so someone going to get first like make money and then buy this land, then you have to think about what kind of disaster, natural disaster it has. So you have to all research that, investigate that, then you bring all, like the material things also protecting for this hurricane and the natural disaster. You have to know everything. So you know everything, then you build the house. So become you have a house. So that is the same is where is my Yaminka tradition. My Yaminka first started investigating, all the investigators started, and then you practice meditate, it goes slowly up and up. You become very stable, like same like that way. You make money and you buy the place and you know how to build the house. So you know everything, if every piece of you know everything, and then you get a house. That is a very stable. You're not going to lose that house. So someone then go to bank and borrow money, and you have a good job and some reason, so you can get borrow money and you buy this place, but you don't know any other, what this all details, anything. But you have a house, you can live together, same thing, who walk different ways coming or you buy, it's the same house. But other one more stable, other one can be lose job or something can be lost again house too. You don't know. So maybe not going to lose, maybe can lose. So that is the same as like Mahamudra and Dzogchen meditation means just you get use something and get result. But if you have to put effort into that, then you can become slowly stable again. And if you get that, if you don't do, and you can be lost. My Yaminka is already first like started very structure, very strong, and never we were going to lost again. So that's like same is the followed by the Buddhist philosophy study or the guideline, where of Buddhists are taking into the one by one, take into the Buddha hold. So more stable path. And other like see we use different method, you get a result, but still it's like if you don't put effort practice, you can be lost. So that's the difference. So now we already reach in the Buddhahood. So finish the teaching, everything.
Can I have a question?
Yes, a question, yeah.
We are doing these practices, we are meditating
Yes.
because we have the aspiration to get liberated, right? But then when you have aspirations, isn't it contradictory because of then we're having expectations? So we are basing our practice in our expectation, isn't it?
Yeah. So beginning, when you put effort, apply expectation, but in the meditation, go away expectation, no expectation.
But I initiate that meditation with an expectation. I know that through the meditation I should be expecting nothing, but I initiated that from an expectation, isn't it?
So you mean before beginning the meditation?
Exactly. To get to be seen here,
yes.
I came here with an expectation to be liberated.
Yes. So see, that's the, we need that for beginners. Without that, you cannot keep maintaining. So some levels like you get, then you don't have that expectation. Your practices become effortlessly arise. So that is like, see, a little bit high level. Until that, we need effort. So now what here sharing is like high level, right?
So
when you get that, you don't have any expectation. Yes.
No more expectations when I get to higher levels?
Yeah, no any expectation. Because where is like you are no exist. Who is going to expectation? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also a difference.
So you realize your service is not exist, then who is going to expectation? Object is not there, then expectation what, where, why? Nothing.
But we can always be aspiring to be free, right?
Yes, so that's the first, like right now we have self, we have object, we have a result. So that time we have to we have to put effort, inspired ourselves. Yeah.
So when we know that someone became a bodhisattva, and what's the sign that this bodhisattva advanced from one bhumi to the other, one stage to the other?
So that's we recognize like who is Bodhisattva. Actually, if you practice, you recognize. If you don't practice, you don't recognize. So if you practice Dharma and then you really recognize who has compassion, who has wisdom, you recognize. So like that, then you're practicing and you recognize that, oh, this person is a Bodhisattva.
But a bodhisattva already recognized his own nature of mind. He already recognized that.
Recognize which way you mean?
Because we're meditating to recognize the nature of our mind.
Yes.
So a bodhisattva already recognized, or he's in a certain threshold to recognize the ego is empty, for example, or when your experience tells that you became a bodhisattva.
So you mean you recognize yourself a bodhisattva, or you recognize other, or this person is a bodhisattva? Which way you mean?
Both. How you would say that one person in his or her experience became a bodhisattva? What's the threshold? Is he already recognized the nature of mind, or you only recognize?
Oh, I see.
You became a Buddha?
So that's the relative truth bodhisattva and absolute truth bodhisattva. We have two different levels. Relative truth bodhisattva means like long as we take the refuge vow and the bodhicitta vow, we all bodhisattva already.
Well, that's a aspiration.
That's relative truth bodhisattva, right? Relatively we are bodhisattva.
Right?
No, that's also engaging too. So you means like we take the refuge vow, we wanted to do something. You wanted to do something and wanted to benefit some other beings, then you take the refuge vow. So see, you listening, teaching, it's also engaging bodhicitta. And you meditate, that's also engaging bodhicitta. So we join these prayers, offerings, also engaging bodhicitta. Because you already receive bodhisattva vow, and then you join things or practicing dharma, or it's called engaging bodhicitta. So we have that, but still we are relative to the bodhisattva.
Because we have a lot of confusion.
So that's why we are relative to the bodhisattva. We don't have enough wisdom still.
We don't have
we are relatively bodhisattva, yes.
Realization. But so, okay.
The absolute truth bodhisattva means like you who recognize the true nature.
Okay, so then you become a bodhisattva when you fully recognize absolute truth bodhisattva.
Yes.
When you recognize the nature of your mind. At that moment you become a bodhisattva.
So that's the I can give you two answers. One answer cannot be there because we teaching is like Mayamika tradition following and Mahamudra tradition, Vajrayana tradition, right? Two differences there. So philosophy, Mayamika tradition, when you get reach in the first pyramid level Bodhisattva, so that term called is the absolute truth Bodhisattva. So why is it called absolute truth Bodhisattva? Then when you reach in the first pyramid Bodhisattva means you don't have selfish, no self is there, and you recognize like emptiness, realize emptiness, and that's why not selfish, and that's why you can benefit for others, many people. Still you have the obscuration, subtle level obscuration, but you have some certain levels like realization. So then no longer attached to yourself. So that is the first Pemi Bodhisattva. It's called absolute truth Bodhisattva.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but at that moment, for example, you in a demigod God realm, a bodhisattva can be there as a state of mind because have less attachment as he realized, because he didn't realize absolutely his nature of mind.
He realized absolute truth.
Absolutely?
Yeah.
Can he lose it?
No.
He can't lose anymore.
Yes.
But he still has obscuration, so
subtle level
every time
obscuration, subtle level.
More
no growth level.
He purifies his obscuration, more he advances in the bhumis.
Yes.
And so how that manifests? How you say that this is first bhumi, this is second bhumi, and third bhumi?
So that's
Can you have a sign that the
yes.
experience of that bodhisattva?
In the philosophy, this Mayamika teaching all has the science abilities, each levels that has. The mention about like we are right now in the relative truth Buddhism, what we need to, which kind we have to practice, which kind we have like ability to do. Then we are in the actually is 5 paths, right? 5 paths. We have 5 paths, 10 permits. 5 paths is like first is like accumulation merit path, then engaging path, then seeing path. Seeing path is the Bodhisattva, first permit Bodhisattva. Then meditation path, then non-learning path. See, there's 5 levels there, 5 paths. So we are the first one is the accumulation merit path. Actually, accumulation merit path also has 3. There's 3 like accumulation beginner and middle and high level. So we are still in the really beginner in there. Okay. So what is the beginner's job? Listening, teaching, emptiness, cultivate, and meditate, right? So that is the our job to do. And then engaging part, you used to that. You are used to that, but you really don't have realized, but you used to that. And if you never been some like city, are telling you the city is like, map and everything, you understanding the city, what low, like what size, like, which kind of like, city and how many people live there, or you have ideas like that kind of is kind of like you have realized, imagination realized. So that is the engaging part. And the absolute truth Bodhisattva first for me is seeing part means like same as are seeing you like that. They're seeing truth. Like they're not only just imagination, they really see the city. And they really see the person, the but far away. Seeing but far away. So that's the seeing part. Then and meditation part is step 1, 2, 3 comes too close to you. I can see you clearly. So like that is called meditation part. When I get your space in the same place and then with non-learning part, I don't have to go more than that. So that's a non-learning part is Buddha state.
Where is Mahasiddha?
Mahasiddha is like first for me is Mahasiddha already.
What?
First for me Bodhisattva is Mahasiddha.
Okay, so Mahasiddha and Bodhisattva is the same as a...
Yeah, we can, Mahasiddha means like we're calling, who has a good practitioners, but absolute truth, Mahasiddha starting first for me Bodhisattva. See, Nagarjuna is the first for me Bodhisattva.
Really?
Yes. The Buddha, he prophesies Nagarjuna. Buddha, he says, when I pass away in this earth, 400 years is Nagarjuna. He mentioned about all his name, everything. Is who has first Pimi realization.
Milarepa?
No, Nagarjuna.
Yeah, and what about Milarepa?
Milarepa, I don't know, but the Nagarjuna, he prophesies clearly. And so Buddha prophesies Nagarjuna and clearly all this in the sutra and 400 years. So that person spread out emptiness teaching. So that teaching is, he said, is unmistaken. The reason is Nagarjuna has realized absolute truth. It's first Pimi Bodhisattva. So the teaching is unmistaken. So see, during the Buddha term, Mahayana teaching is not separate out. It's very limited, like kind of only high education, highest level student has this teaching, but not publicly, Mahayana teaching. So then Buddha said it's like, see, 400 years after Nagarjuna, he spread out the teaching. So that teaching is unmistaken. Then all these Buddhist philosophers says, I follow the Nagarjuna. Why is I follow the Nagarjuna? Because Buddha prophesied the Nagarjuna, he has realized the first Pimi Bodhisattva, his teachings are mistaken. Then this all the Shantideva, Chandrakirti, all this the Buddhist philosopher realizers follow the Nagarjuna.
Shantideva was a Bodhisattva.
Yeah, of course he's a Bodhisattva.
First one?
Yes, he's the first Pimi Bodhisattva too. And see, Nagarjuna's disciple is Saraha, Telopa. So this all Siddhas is like is who the teacher is Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna is the first scientist of Buddhist too. So then he's the founder of Nalanda University too. So we call usually second Buddha. Nagarjuna is called second Buddha.
Padmasambhava was a Buddha.
Pema Sambhava is after that. And the Pema Sambhava comes, he spread out Vajrayana, so we call Vajrayana second Buddha. Vajrayana first Buddha is Buddha Shakyamuni, second is like spread out the Dharma is Pema Sambhava. Vajrayana second Buddha is Pema Sambhava. But Sutra tradition, Mahayana tradition, second Buddha is Nagarjuna. Okay. So now we have to do the puja. I'm really hungry too. So you all go to prepare this small offerings, everything. I do this Buddha Shakyamuni prayer here. We practicing this. We group together. Leave is already the enough that one. So now you all go outside and prepare the small offering. I do the Buddha prayer with the zone group, and then we get in the Achis sadhana. I come to outside.
We're gonna use my computer, okay?
Yes, yeah, use your computer. Thank you. Hello, everyone here.
Hello, Khenpo.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Khenpo.
Khenpo.
Good morning.
Marilyn is, so she can live stream today.
Okay, that's good. So live.
When do you want me to start the live stream?
Yeah, you can live right now. It's okay.
Okay.
Mm.